It also meant that in the process, the fertilization was not complete, so the baby could not grow, and then the womb is empty. Whatever it was, the sac was there, but there was no baby inside. Guys, I didn't bleed, I had not bled, I had not spotted, so I didn't understand it. Like, how can the baby just vanish? Baby that I heard the heartbeat just now in the doctor's office. Hey guys, it's me again. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Guys, I'm so happy to be here. Like, okay, I'm so excited to be here once again. Let's just say I've been having creators block. I've not really known what I've been battling with, what next to say on this channel, and it's been an amazing year, but I know I've not been in a good place for a while. I wasn't in a good place, now I'm in a happy place. But for a while, yeah, I struggled. I was sick, my children fell ill one after the other. We were frequenting the hospital like on a weekly basis. So that was difficult, yeah. Anyway, today I'm going to be vulnerable and talk about something personal. But the reason why I'm bringing this up is because there are so many people out there experiencing it. There are so many people out there who will experience it, and there are so many people out there who have experienced it. So I just need to talk about it and share my experience and how I was able to pull through. So as you can see, I'm a mother. I have two amazing children, and well, my first baby is 3 years old, going to soon be 4, and she is a year old now. But what I want to talk about is dealing with miscarriage, and I'm going to title this video part 1, dealing with miscarriages, dealing with a miscarriage, part 1. Okay, now, as soon as I got married, I didn't take in immediately for reasons best known to God. But funny enough, like 2 or 3 months after getting married, I took in, and I gave birth to my baby in February. Sorry. You know that moment when as a mom you want to shoot a video, you are dressed, you are ready. That is when your children will start seeking your attention. So I had to, this baby is going to do this video with me, whether she likes it or not. Yeah. She's about sleeping. Okay, so I had my son in February. I did my 6 weeks later, that'll be in March 2020. I went for family planning myself with my husband. We discussed the best one to go for. We decided to go for the IUD, and I actually thought it was going to be good for me, but I started experiencing serious heavy and painful flow, as well as terrible abdominal pain, that it was so bad. And then my flow, like in the space of 1 hour, I can change 3 times. I can change my cemetery parts 3 times. So it was that bad. Okay, so I still kept on holding on. Like, I didn't really want to take in immediately. I wanted my first son to be at least 3 years older than his sibling. Okay, so I held on to that IUD. I managed till up until 2021, when I couldn't take it anymore. I had to go and remove it. I removed it in June. In June, and as soon as I removed it, I saw my period, and that was the last period. Like, guys, I took in immediately. It was a bittersweet experience, doing that pregnancy test and seeing I was pregnant. I wasn't happy because that wasn't the plan. I wasn't happy, that's the truth. But I just talked myself into it, and for the first 3 weeks, I knew I was pregnant. I was just, talking myself into it. Then going to the fifth and then the sixth week of pregnancy, I was so happy to be pregnant, guys. Like, okay, so my baby is asleep. I need to drop her so I can get back to this video. Don't go anywhere. Okay. All right, guys, I'm back. So at point when I got to the sixth, seventh week, I was super excited. Oh yeah, I'm going to be a mom again. Like I said, looking forward to having my baby. And yeah, the plan I had was for my son to be 3 years older than his next sibling. But who am I to question God? I looked at it, I was like, in my family we are 2 years apart, and this baby is going to be exactly 2 years younger than his or her elder brother. So I became excited. I started looking forward to giving birth and all that. Exactly at 12 weeks, I remember having a conversation with my cousins, and I was telling them, like, I don't know, all those cravings I used to have, I don't feel them anymore. Like, I know I'm pregnant, but I'm not feeling those cravings anymore. And they're like, you're complaining that you're not feeling those negative pregnancy signs. You're supposed to be excited about it. Like, you don't know, babe, you don't know what God has done for you. And I was like, okay, maybe I'm just being silly. But after that, I looked forward to my 14th week when I was going to register for my antenatal. So I went to the hospital that morning. I was very excited. I got to the hospital. I went in for my ultrasound. No, my consultation with the doctor. I went in for a consultation with the doctor, and guess what, guys? We started looking for heartbeats. We checked and checked and checked. We were getting heartbeats, but they were unsteady. It was at 126 beats per second or per minute. I don't know what she said, but I know it was 126. She said it was at 126, and then whenever she got it, that's what it was reading. But we'll check, we'll not get the heartbeat, we'll check, we'll not get the heartbeat. Anyway, she advised me to go and do my ultrasound scan. This is what I was even supposed to do anyway, since it was my first consultation with the doctor. So I went for scan. I got there. They said, why are you here? I told them. I laid on the bed. We brought out their whatsoever, and we still looking for baby in my womb. Ladies and gentlemen, they searched and searched and searched. Couldn't find my womb. There was water there. It was obvious that I was pregnant, but there was no baby inside my womb. Like, how possible is that? The guy was so insensitive. He was like, who told you to come and do antenatal? You'd have done the scan first before registering for antenatal. This is waste of money. You're not even pregnant. And I'm like, okay, Debbie, you're not going to lose it with this guy. He's not the cause of anything you're feeling right now. And I told him, I'm not mad, I'm not insane to come to the hospital to register for antenatal when I hadn't done any test prior to now to confirm that I was pregnant. I said, but there's no baby here, and in fact I should stand up. And then he said I had what was termed as a blighted ovum. As soon as the words were coming out of his mouth, ladies and gentlemen, I was on Google looking for the meaning of blighted ovum, and apparently it meant that the egg met with the sperm, but it didn't get fertilized. But my body got the sensation that I was pregnant, and so instead, the hormones started forming and all that. That was one version I got, or what I understood from what I read, because the grammars were so big. It also meant that in the process, the fertilization was not complete, so the baby could not grow, and then the womb is empty. Whatever it was, the sac was there, but there was no baby inside. Guys, I didn't bleed, I had not bled, I had not spotted, so I didn't understand it. Like, how can the baby just vanish? Baby that I heard the heartbeat just now in the doctor's office. And the guy was like, which doctor brought out Doppler to even hear the heartbeat of a baby at 14 weeks. Who does that? I'm like, see, you're trying so hard to provoke me. So let me just leave. So I left. I felt so bad. I went back to see the doctor, and it's a Catholic hospital, so the doctor is a reverend sister. She just encouraged me. She said, I know what I heard. I know what I heard. But if this is what the scan is saying, we're not going to give up yet. I would like you to go to another scan, go to another place and do a scan. I'm going to refer you to somewhere else. They have big and sophisticated. They had big and and more English. They had big and more sophisticated machines, so they'll be able to find out, and if there's any baby that they'll see. Maybe the baby is not growing as the baby should, but we can't say that there's no baby. Like if you've not bled, there should be something there. That is how I went home. I was scared. I sent a message to my pastor, told him this is it. I took in and went for antenatal. They told me there was no baby. I'm going for a scan tomorrow. I would like to see my baby tomorrow. My womb will not be empty. I will see my baby and the baby will be alive. I started praying for, let the baby even be too small. Let the baby be small so I can eat. I will eat anything and they ask me to eat. Any injection they want to give me, I will accept it. Let the baby just be alive. So, all right. So we got to the scan. I laid down, and truly they had better sophisticated machines, and we checked. They saw my baby, and the doctor looked at the baby. The sonographer looked at the baby and said, "Are you 6 weeks pregnant?" I smiled. I said, "No, I am 14 weeks pregnant." He said, "Okay." He now said the size of the baby he's seeing is just 6 weeks, which means the baby had stopped growing at 6 weeks. But let's see if the baby is alive. If there's any limb activity or heartbeat, then there's hope. There are things we could do and all that. So I kept praying. I lay down on that bed, and God knows how hard I prayed for that baby to just move, for that dot to just blink, to signify that there was life. But that wasn't the plan of God for me, and it was concluded that the baby had passed, and maybe I didn't notice. I must have spotted one way or the other, but there was nothing I could do. So when I went back to the doctor was very apologetic, and she told me I was weeping like brethren. I wept, but she told me not to lose faith. This is not the end of the world. Another one was definitely going to come. I'm a young girl, blah 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 blah. I wasn't hearing all that, telling me I just lost my baby. Like, do you know, it's funny how some persons like us, good girl, we served God, we've been serving God, we feel bad things should not happen to us. Like, we are entitled to the goodness of the Lord. So bad, negative things should not happen to us. Like, I've never imagined it in my life that Debbie will have a miscarriage. For what? Why? I see people that used to have miscarriage, they are the ones that bring it upon themselves. But I got to understand that things happen, and it can happen to anybody. So I was booked for MVA, manual vacuum evacuation, something like that, and it was a scary and painful experience. First of all, the lady doctor that was on seat when I went for that was on duty. She has never done it before. So a male doctor accompanied her into the theater. did the first round and gave it to her. Ladies and gentlemen, I was a lab rat. They were bringing out the remains of my baby in a forceful and painful way. I felt the tug. I was even scared. Like, you're using me to practice. What if something goes wrong? I was so scared. They just kept suctioning and oh God. I've never allowed myself to think about this until now, and no, like since that period passed, I've never allowed myself to think about this until now, and I know you can see me shuddering because honestly, it wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. But I thank God. That was how my baby was evacuated, and I went home. And the bleeding started, and then I had 1 week of recovery. Guys, I'm going to stop here for now, but I'm coming back with part 2 to let you know how I dealt with this. It was horrible. It was horrible. I cried. I wept. I was angry at myself. I felt it was because I didn't like the baby enough from the beginning. That's why that happened to me. I was angry at my husband for nothing, for no reason. I felt he should be more understanding. He should be mourning the baby the way I was mourning the baby. Like, I was a mess. I agree, I was a mess. But thank God for healing. And I'm going to share how I healed and got over this with you in my next video. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.